Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sally, and today I'm going to be doing my book review on The 20 Time Project by Kevin Brookhouser, which is basically introducing an educational strategy that implements 20% of time for students to work on a project during class of their choice. Um, so just a little background about Kevin Brookhouser, the author. He has his master's in education, and he's actually a high school teacher in Monterey, California. He decided to team up with Google and specifically the Google Team Academy to launch the 20 Time program and to start implementing it into different classrooms around the United States. And he's just really a great promoter of the project itself. And so, just a little summary of the content. So, the 20 Time Project is based on giving students 20% of their time at school to do work on projects that they're interested in. So, students can do any type of project, whether it be community based or a more globally based. Excuse me. Um, some students have spent their time throughout the school year making a basketball camp for fourth and fifth graders. Another student has been able to help the homeless population within their community. And all of these projects are supported by Google to solve heuristic issues such as homelessness and poverty, and overall just things that can't be quickly solved through memorization and understanding of material, which is usually what's taught at school. And so the 20 Time Project is created to prepare future students and future generations of students for success within our modern world. As you know, we have tons of technology going on, and it's really a snowball effect from now on. There's been more and more technology being implemented into the educational system, and it's our job as educators to do the best we can to give our students the best opportunity and the best step forward when they go into the actual workforce. And so the main goal of this strategy is to teach students how to problem solve beyond what has already been done or thought of. I think a lot of generations right now within the workforce, they're sort of at a standstill or a plateau of some sort because they weren't equipped to handle the type of technology and the type of problems that they face in our modern world right now. And so, to avoid having any of those issues again, I think it's really important that we start making amends to our educational system. And so, just like a quick little overview of how anyone can actually run a 20 time program. The first step would be to communicate effectively between students, parents, and coworkers and higher ups. Um, the best thing to do to run a successful 20 time project strategy is to earn people's trust into the system. Um, Personally, I think it's a really great idea, but it just matters on how effectively you communicate with um, your students and their parents and the people around you. And so the next the next stop would be to get the right idea. This is mainly for the students, and so Brookhouser came up with a few key terms that sort of enveloped the thought process of for his students when they were thinking of things to do for their projects. And so one idea was the bad idea factory. And he basically explained that that the bad idea factory is used to promote creativity. Um, there's always there's always bad ideas, but within those bad ideas, students are able to breed better ideas, and it just becomes a snowball effect after that. And another term that he emphasized was the moonshot thinking. And basically, it's just shooting for the stars. The sky is the limit in what a student's project can be about. And really, there's no way you can contain how far a student is willing to go if they're interested in it. And so that's the idea between behind the moonshot thinking. And so one of the more important steps in running the 20 time program is using teamwork and using technology. Um, it's really important, especially now for students and just people alike, to work collaboratively within groups um, to come to a consensus. And within teamwork, you often get more ideas, and it's another breeding ground for creativity. And within the 20 time program, there's obviously going to be a huge amount of technology being used, whether it be to research or gain access to links and websites that can help students successfully complete their projects for the school year. And so the next thing that would be most important is getting the proposal reviewed and revised and submitted. Um, for a successful 20 time program, um, educators are needed to approve of the student's project. And so it's a very lengthy process, but um, mainly there's really no bad idea as long as it's not harmful to anyone else and it's for the greater good. And it's just really important to have good mentors, especially good educators. And so people who can actually encourage their students to think beyond what they thought a project could be. And so moving on to my analysis and evaluation, excuse me. Um, Overall, I took the 2010 project to be raising awareness to how future generations are being set up for jobs that have not been created yet. And so this theme was briefly brought up within like a TED Talk video that we had watched maybe the first week of school, which had explained that our future generations, our educational system is preparing our future generations for jobs that haven't been created yet. And so it's a really great thing that the 20 time system has been created because it allows students to strategize and problem solve with beyond the realms of a textbook or um, a regular education. And so the main question that really stood out to me was when teachers would ask, "What do you want to learn?" Oftentimes, I feel like education is a one-way street. It's usually just what districts and states want their students to learn and how they want their schools to run. And so it's really important to get students' feedback on what they want to learn because you're the most successful educational space is going to be one where it's an autonomy. So um, um, it really education really breeds from student feedback as well as educators' feedback. And so a teacher's job goes beyond helping students memorize facts in different subjects, and Google does that for us already. And so, especially these generations coming into high school and even college, they're so used to getting things from Google, getting quick facts, getting help with math questions, stuff like that. That as educators, it's our job to make learning more meaningful to them and to actually help them problem solve beyond what's in their textbooks and what they're writing in their notes. Um, I think now more than ever, our modern world needs problem solvers help who can help our society fix the problems that we made before. And so mainly the biggest key point that I got from this reading this book was that technology is a vital pillar in our educational system. There's really no way around it anymore. Education cannot be successful, and it cannot be helpful to our future students if we do not support education within our schools. And so it's really important that we educate ourselves on technology literacy, and it's really important that we're even taking this class right now. And so the only thing that I might have disagreed with was the mention of Common Core standards and its success within classrooms. For me personally, I grew up in schools that had implemented Common Core standards, and I felt that um, more than not, um, students felt like they were only allowed to think of a problem one way, and that should never be the case. It should be collaborative, and it should be a multi-way solution. But in conclusion, I really enjoyed reading the book. I thought it brought up some really great ideas for how I can implement these strategies into my future classroom. So the exclamation of the 2010 project is just one of many that we can expect in the future. Um, like I said before, technology is really going fast. And so it's our job as educators to create more projects like this to better prepare our students for the future, because it's going to be way different in 20 years than it is right now. And so overall, education must be able to adapt. And the 2010 project is a radical educational strategy. It's built to give students essential tools for success in our modern world. And I think, like I said before, more projects like these are going to be popping up in the near future. It's really great that Google, especially, is launching some of these programs and helping school districts out um, with just allowing their students to be more creative within the classroom. And I think it's just a really great idea. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll be back soon with